Dragon Ball FighterZ. A game that didn't just capture the world of Dragon Ball, it became it. From the moment it hit screens in 2018, it was clear this wasn't just another anime fighting game. FighterZ was a statement that anime games could look and play like art. The first trailers broke the internet, and for good reason. Fans have never seen Goku and Vegeta look this sharp. When Arc System Works and Bandai Namco teamed up, only few could have predicted what would have happened next. A masterpiece that would dominate EVO and unite the anime and FGC players like never before. And now, years later, it's back in the spotlight again. A brand new patch, a fresh DLC fighter have breathed new life into this game. A game that many thought had seen its final chapter. But make no mistake, this isn't the end. It's a rebirth from one of the most beloved fighters in history. So let's take a deep dive into what made FighterZ so legendary that it nearly broke it, and how it's powering back up for the future. Before we dive in, how about you hit that like button, drop a comment. What is your favorite Dragon Ball FighterZ team? And make sure you subscribe. About 99% of you aren't subscribed, so it'll help out, and you can always unsubscribe for free. Thank you for watching. The journey began with a question. What if Dragon Ball could look exactly like the anime, but play like a serious tournament fighter? Bandai Namco wanted something different from the usual arena brawlers. After years of Budokai and Xenoverse titles, fans wanted something competitive. Something that honored both the art and the mechanics of tag fighters. So Bandai Namco turned to Arc System Works, the masters behind Guilty Gear and BlazBlue. Arc Sys built fighters on Unreal Engine 4, but the real trick wasn't the engine, it was how they used it. They forced the 3D models to move with the rhythm of 2D animation. Each attack, each block, each combo was hand-tuned frame by frame to match the timing of classic anime scenes. They didn't chase realism, they chased impact. Every hit had to feel like it carried Goku's energy, like it would shake the ground itself. Developers manually drew in shadows, highlights, and even aura effects. They even adjusted the frame rate of certain moves so characters could move like a traditional 24 FPS anime sequence. A playable anime that looked better than the anime itself. And at that moment, FighterZ wasn't just a game, it was a visual revolution. When FighterZ finally dropped in January 2018, it took the gaming world by storm. The trailers had already hyped up fans beyond belief, and the final product exceeded all expectations. Within weeks, it sold over 2 million copies, becoming one of the fastest selling fighting games ever. And when it debuted at EVO 2018, the fighting game world stood still. The legendary showdown between Sonic Fox and Goichi became an instant classic. It wasn't just a competitive match. It was storytelling. Sonic Fox's bold reads, Kyochi's precision defense, the crowd's roars. It all felt like watching a new Dragon Ball episode unfold live. FighterZ reminded the world that esports could be cinematic. Critics praised its accessibility. Casual fans could pull off flashy combos and feel powerful, But underneath that accessibility was debt. A high ceiling that pros could spend years mastering. Every team composition told a story. Every matchup carried strategy. Dragon Ball FighterZ became the bridge between anime fans and the hardcore FGC crowd, something that hadn't happened since Marvel vs. Capcom 2. The reviews poured in, near perfect scores across the board. Players called it a masterpiece. Even Toriyama himself reportedly loved what he saw. Dragon Ball FighterZ wasn't just a success, it was a phenomenon. Dragon Ball FighterZ soundtrack doesn't really rely on nostalgia. It creates its own energy. The game's composers didn't reuse classic Z themes. Instead, they crafted original tracks filled with explosive guitars, electric synths, and cinematic persecution. Every character had a theme that amplifies their personality, from the chaos of Broly to the pride of Vegeta. When you enter a match, the music builds like an anime intro. It hypes you up before a single punch is thrown. That's why Dragon Ball FighterZ matches feel so intense. The sound design merges perfectly with the visuals. Punches crack, auras hum, and super attacks detonate with ear-shattering weight. It's a sensory overload in the best possible way. The energy doesn't stop at the soundtrack. It's the characters' intros, the dramatic finishes, and the final explosion that sends your opponent flying through mountains. Every single battle feels like an episode-ending moment. That's the genius of FighterZ. It gives every player its own episode climax. In a sea of competitive games, FighterZ didn't just compete, it performed. Of course, no great story is without conflict. FighterZ had rivals and problems. It launched alongside heavy hitters like Smash Ultimate, but it also came out the same year as Street Fighter V and Tekken 7. The competition was brutal. Many have wondered if an anime fighter would hold its own against giants of the FGC, but for a while, it did more than survive. It absolutely thrived. However, in the years that went on, cracks began to show. The balance was messy. Some characters like Bardock, Cell, and Android 16 dominated tournaments for months. Players complained about infinite block streams sparking issues and certain assists being broken beyond reason. The game was still incredible to watch, but sometimes painful to play. Then became DLC controversy. Fans were thrilled to see their favorites like Vegeta Blue and Gogeta and Broly join the roster. But the slow release pace and the pricey character packs caused frustration. Some even felt the devs had abandoned the game after its third season. But the biggest issue of all, no rollback netcode. In the era of online gaming, FighterZ was stuck using delay-based netcode. Matches between continents were nearly unplayable. During the pandemic, as tournaments moved online, the lack of rollback nearly killed the competitive scene. Players begged year after year for an update. And finally, in 2024, the miracle happened. Arc System Works announced rollback netcode was coming to FighterZ. The community united, cheered, and returned in droves. FighterZ wasn't dead. It was reborn. Fast forward to now. The newest patch has changed everything again. Dozens of balance tweaks, reshaping the meta, breathing new life into older characters. Fighters, once seen as low tier, are finally competitive. The game feels fresh, faster, and more refined than ever. And then came a new DLC character, Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. The reveal sent shockwaves across social media. Streams exploded. It was not just another fighter. It was a sign that Arc System Works still cares, that the future of Dragon Ball FighterZ is active and not forgotten. Balance patches and new content fans have begged for, and the results are showing. Tournaments are returning, YouTubers started uploading again, Twitch chats are active with hype. FighterZ feels like 2018 all over again, but this time it's even better. This patch wasn't just maintenance, it's resurrection. It's proof that the developers are still listening, and that this game has so much potential. So what's next? With rollback finally implemented, balance restored, and the community stronger than ever, the possibilities are endless. Fans whisper about a Dragon Ball FighterZ 2, maybe powered by Unreal Engine 5 with next-gen visuals that make the first game look old school. Some dream of expanded rosters, story reworks, and even crossover arcs. But even if FighterZ 2 never comes, the game has already cemented its place in history. It's more than a fighting game. It's a piece of anime culture, esports, digital artistry, all at once. And here's the truth. Great games don't die. They evolve. They transform. Just like Goku, Dragon Ball FighterZ keeps finding a new level of power every time we think it's reached this limit. If you enjoy this deep dive, smash that like button, drop a comment with your favorite Dragon Ball FighterZ moment, and share with a friend, and make sure to subscribe. Until next time, stay legendary.